Hey everybody, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. So today we're going to be drawing Garou from One Punch Man. So it's more of a fight pose. I've done one of his face close up like 3 years ago with like lots of hatching and difficulty and stuff. But this is more sort of, and I've done Awakened Garou, so this is kind of standard Garou doing his water sort of fist pose kind of stuff. So I'm on landscape orientation paper. Use a pencil and eraser. Definitely for these. Take your time and hit pause if I go too fast or I move my hand. So we're kind of like half body. So his face is quite small, so I'll have to zoom in, okay? But we're starting with his eyes. So the center point of my page is about here. I'd say that's where his chin will be. So we'll just come up and we'll start with his eyes and I'll zoom in. So zoom, future me, zoom in when you're editing, zoom. Okay, so hopefully I zoomed in. So we'll go with his eyebrow, right? So we'll go these hairy sort of lightning sort of like eyebrows. So they're kind of bumpy and jaggedy and got like spikes on them and stuff here. Okay, so like this kind of thing. So real thin and spiky. So that's one, and then we'll come over and we'll do the other one. Kind of like a mirror image. Let's go up. Back down then. Like so. Right, and then his eyes are underneath that, so he's real sort of slender, intense kind of eyes, right? So we go up, across for the top eyelid, like so. And then this will come down, start to come down here, down and in. And underneath. You can kind of darken up the top eyelid, but it's already fairly dark, I think. Like so. Right, so real slender sort of eyelid lines. And slender eyes, right? So then his iris and his pupil. So iris, half circle, comes around like so. Pupil, half circle, in there. And then his other eye. So we do pretty much the same thing again, real slender kind of eyes, real thin. Let me bring it down. Around like so. And then his iris, half circle. That, and pupil, half circle. Whew. It's hard to do it so small. Right, so there's eyes. And then we have like some wrinkles and things on his brow here. You know, he's frowning. He's kind of an evil looking dude, even though he's just misunderstood, really. Poor Garou. And like some lines underneath his eyes here. On the top of his nose, just there. Right, so then his nose is like this just V sort of down here, right? So we just do like a kind of a V. Right? Just there. So real pointy, right? Now you can add more detail if you want. So, and there isn't the picture I'm drawn from. So his nostrils just come around here. Like that. And then his actual bridge of his nose is drawn in as well, which is kind of unusual for anime. But we'll draw it in as well. Just there. And then some more lines. And the other side of the bridge of his nose here. And some sort of line there. And a line that side. Right, so then his mouth. So he's got like a real sort of evil looking smile, right? But again, just misunderstood, not actually evil. And then, so this comes across right underneath his nose at first. And then it flick up the side here. And then this has one of those mouth lines on the side of it, right? So we're underneath his eye now here. And we're going to go underneath his eye on the other side as well. So it goes this way, kind of curves across. So we're kind of underneath his eye there. Then we're going to open this up a little bit. So we'll go down, across, and up the other side of that mouth. And we got like some teeth. Just there. And then like same sort of thing again. Like so. So then his chin, so real sort of pointy chin on Garou. Some of this is covered by his hand, so you don't really see all of it. But we'll draw it in just so we can sort of erase it afterwards, just depending on how much we cover, right? So I'd say like eyes to nose is about the same as nose to chin. Like his head is kind of tilted forward, so it's not like the bottom of his nose, it's say his nostril area. Say here, side of his nose. So the eyes to his nostril, not the tip of his nose, is about the same as nostril to the chin. And then nostril to the bottom lip is about the same as nostril to the chin, right? So bottom lip is halfway between nostril and chin. And then nostril is halfway between pupil, his eye pupil, and the chin. Okay, that's your rough proportions, right? So then we'll do his jaw. So we go up the side. So we go up. The other side, right? And you're like roughly stopping like underneath the edge of his eyes. See here? You know, roughly. And that's where you change direction and you'll go up the side of his face here. And this eventually will become like a sideburn just there at the top. You do the same thing on this side. So you go up. Like so, and then eventually we'll meet like a sideburn here. This becomes like all sort of spiky hair and stuff. His ears sort of come out from here, right? So, and he has kind of relatively pointy ears. So it comes up and down, around into there. And then bones and ligaments. Easiest way is always just like a letter J sort of thing. But you can also add more detail if you want. Just coming around. And then same thing on this side, so make it a bit pointier actually. We lost the level about here. And then this comes down right into there. And then you can add more detail inside. So letter J sort of thing again. Another line here. This comes around like so. Okay, so then his hairline comes around to this sort of V in the middle, right? So like a V just here. I'd say it's like eyebrows to, like the size of his forehead is probably like eyebrows to nose is the same as eyebrows to forehead. So like the middle of his eyebrow here, about the same as here to here. Okay, so like this point in here, right there, where I put that mark, is about halfway between the forehead and the nose. Just so you don't make the forehead just too big, that's all, right? It's about there. It doesn't have to be exact, but just like about there. And then he's got like all these real spiky hairline then coming around like so. We do pretty much the same thing over here. Like that. So then he has those two big pieces of hair that come up around from the back of his head, from behind his ears, right? And you just add these spikes. And you just go the whole way up. And they go up really, really big and tall. And jaggedy, you know. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine, like the spikes. I'm doing this in sort of real quick and rough and stuff. It doesn't. I'm not worried too much about whether or not the spikes are all in the right place. You just gotta get it look like kind of like fire going that way. And then on the other side, we do the same sort of thing. So just like coming out from behind his ear again. Like that. And then we have all sort of texture on the inside as well, like different sort of lines. Some more sort of, just to give it just a sort of roughness on the inside. All these kind of texture lines inside his hair here. There is a good bit of this. There's more now. You don't have to do all this, but I'll do all of it just for whoever really wants to copy exactly. More there. That, and then here, and then we got like some more. Okay, roughly, that's it, right. So we'll go down now and we'll do sort of his pose, right? So this is like kind of a tricky part, right? Because we've got like a hand and his body's kind of twisted and stuff like this, right? Two hands really, and arms and anatomy and things like this. So really take your time with this. We'll do the hand that's coming across his chin first, okay? So what's the best way to do this? Okay, what is the best way to start? Maybe the hand and then join it up? Yeah, okay. Do the hand first. So he's got this claw-like position in front of his chin, okay? So let's go. Knuckle here comes down. So this is his ring finger, right? So this is a knuckle and then comes down like so. And we'll erase this chin line. Here's a bottom lip line there, I forgot to add actually. And then this changes direction. Comes down like so. Take your time with hands, they're always like troublesome. And then another knuckle here. Another word for troublesome is really annoying to draw. Like so. And then another line there. And another segment like here. And then there can be like knuckle lines coming across across there. So we'll do these fingers coming across. So we'll do the little finger here. So comes in, out to a knuckle, change your direction, go down. And see, obviously you've 3 segments on your finger, so 2 knuckles on each finger, and a knuckle down here as well. So, but you have 2 knuckles, 2 bends on your fingers, which gives 3 segments. So like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. Third segment here. 1, 2, 3. And this is like the top of his knuckle. This comes down to like there, and then this goes around. 3 segments there, and then another there, and then like knuckle lines, and then like the back of his hand curves down for the palm of his hand underneath his fingers here. You could have like some lines there, line inside there, and then this bumps around this sort of W shape that you have on the bottom of your hand. This like W, 2 bumps, and it joins the thumb, which has a curved line there, and then like the palm of his hand line goes up that way, and then his thumb kind of sticks out, so comes around. There, and then his knuckle goes up and then down and around here, and then we have like a thumbnail just on top of his knuckle there, on top of his thumb, sorry, there, not his knuckle. And then this will start to travel up to his index finger. So, and we got like some more sort of hand lines here, like that. Okay, so we'll go back up just to this finger, and we'll do his middle finger. So, and that comes out here, comes across, down, and then change direction again slightly for the bottom of the finger, which comes around up to here, and then up to there, and then we got like some lines inside there, and then his actual fingernail, like so. You could have some like knuckle lines and stuff. Right, so then last but not least, the index finger. Goes up, change direction again. Comes down. Around up to there. So, this one should come down there, and comes in and then out for his hand. Phew, okay, right. That's his first. So awkward hand position, very tricky. That's sort of advanced, you know. If you're able to draw that, you know. Talented stuff. I'm just getting rid of this chin line. So hand positions like this are never easy. So, you know, don't beat yourself up. It's always tricky. Okay, right. So we got his wrist and his sleeve and his arm and stuff. So arm, sort of comes out this way, right? And the top of it goes this way. So this is like his forearm. That would be his elbow, so that comes like out to like there. And then the forearm comes out up this way up to like his elbow there. And then this will go up that way. And then this will go in and start to like bump out for like his tricep sort of area there. And got like another line for his forearm here. Forearm muscles, and this like joins a wrist bone there, and he's got like a sleeve like so, like another line there, and going in this way. Right, now we'll join this arm up to his shoulder. So shoulder's all the way up here, and his chest muscle is like in here. So get that chest muscle in first. So it goes starting just beside his ear here, it looks like. So like it curves down like there. And then we have like the top of his chest muscle, or his collarbone, goes up that way. And then we have like a neck muscle here. Just zoom in on my picture here a little bit. So yeah, this goes in underneath his ear. Right, and then top of his shoulder, bump there. Tricep comes out, down to there. And then, so like shoulder muscle line there, and bicep out and down. And like another line for the tricep there, and a line for his bicep on the inside here. Okay, so anatomy. Kind of different to what we're used to, like different to Dragon Ball. But it looks accurate. Okay, so that means the shoulder on the other side, you can kind of tell his body position. So he's kind of lopsided. So we have a lower shoulder, right? So say here. So his trapezius, right, coming down this way, and then round shoulder here. Right, basketball-like shape, just there, kind of in line then with his thumb. That's how far down you want to go. So the other side of this basketball sort of shoulder shape is there. I call them basketball shapes. I know that people won't know what I'm talking about, but I always think of like a basketball because it tends to have like some lines inside. It doesn't on Garou for some reason, but I'm going to add them anyway, even though they're not here. So we'll bring this in, and then his back is like here. Right, like that. And then his tricep comes real long. So this is his long sort of tricep down here. That's his shoulder. And that's like his shoulder blade, right? And his bicep comes in, the other side of his arm, I mean, comes out from the tip of his thumb. Comes down like here. other side of his back here. I think there's like a bit of a shadow here or something. Or it's just a thicker line, I'm not quite sure. Like so. Right, so then this sort of separation of bicep and tricep is like happening here. You have another line that way. And then this bicep line goes, or tricep line goes this way, goes up, like so. And then so there isn't like usually like they'd separate the lines of his like his shoulder, like his delts and stuff, but I'm gonna add like another line there because there should be one. I think they do it in shadow. Or with, you know, shadow rather than explicit line. So top of his shoulder then like comes up into here and like up there. And I'm going to give another line for his front delt. So you should have like three delt muscles really. But yeah, we'll add some hatching there, and then it's like other collarbone or chest muscle neckline there. Like that. Okay, so forearm comes across here. To there. Elbow sticks down across this way then for the rest of the forearm. So this kind of goes up towards his hand then, like up here. And he has a sleeve on, again, just there. And then there could be like an extra line for his hand, just like there. All right, so, and then, so like his hip or his waist or something's here. And then like another hip line there. And then we can see some abdominal muscles here, so it kind of just bumps down like that. And then we can kind of see the bottom of his chest underneath his hand here. And then this goes up like so. So this is an ab. This is an ab. And then we have another ab line there. And then we should see another ab here. Curves down into there. And maybe the back side of it, like just there. Okay, so last but not least then, another hand. So this kind of comes out this way. Well, it's not last, sorry. We have some of his pants or something, his pantaloons. Where should they be? So his body here. It goes out that way. And like his trousers, the line goes that way. Right, so then we'll do this hand. So it's more of, it's an easier sort of hand shape. It comes out straight at first, right? And then comes across for finger. And around like so. So this finger comes around here. And then we have another bump. So this finger kind of goes up to the middle, comes out from the middle of that one, and then bumps around here. this finger on this side. Comes in, goes up, down, that way. So 3 of these quite close together, and then this comes back to the back of the palm of his hand and then goes kind of down this way. Then a couple more sort of bumping. Segments here. This goes down then to there, and then his little finger sort of bumps down here and goes around, back up, bumping as we go, and then comes down the side of his hand here. Like this, and we'll just bring the top of this finger a little bit longer. Up to a knuckle and down. Then like another knuckle line on the side, another one here. And then we'll add like some fingernails. Like that, and then his thumb just comes out along the bottom here, so like so, and goes around here. Just comes up like that. So real sort of slender hand position. But I think that's everything. Maybe just another like a line just in here for his chest a little bit. No, that's it. That's how to draw Garou in a fight pose. Hope it was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.